Hello, fabulous Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, several interesting things are taking place, coming together in some very powerful ways for you, where you're questioning your values, questioning what really matters, and at the same time, feeling more awake than you have in a long time. And this is true specifically in the middle of the month. So right around the middle of the month, there's a new moon happening. And this new moon is happening in a very quiet part of the sky, but a very necessary part of the sky, because this is where you're setting things up. This is where you're letting go energetically of what you don't need. And this is where you're clearing space for the new and fabulous to enter your life. And it really will just 1 month from now. So next month, we have a new moon happening in your sign, and I'll be here to talk about it then, but it really is going to represent in many ways fresh starts, fresh beginnings, and fresh understandings about who you are and what it is that matters most. So this should be quite rewarding as we move into next month. But this month, it's a little bit of a setup, okay? It's like the universe is setting the stage so that you can take full advantage of the solid gains possible to you that will present themselves to you at that time. So the universe does this partly by helping you to clear out your energy, clear out your psyche, understand what matters, understand what doesn't, help you to understand what's going on within you so that you can decide what goes into your future and what doesn't. And one really big way the universe likes to do this is through your dreams, through the dream space. We've got this new moon happening, and it is happening with Mercury in the sky. So there's a level of awareness here. There's a level of lots of activity kind of happening underneath the surface. And there's a level of you becoming more conscious of, becoming more aware of some of the things that have been motivating you that you hadn't fully acknowledged before. Some of your own fears, and how some of those fears might have had you doing things that on some level could be seen as trying to manipulate or control situations that surrendering to would have been a better strategy, would have led to better results, would have allowed you to have a greater sense of power. See, that's the thing with astrology, yes, but with life as well. As much as there is this part of us, and I think that as a Sag, you know that there's that part of you that knows that life can be whatever you want it to be, you know, especially if you've got Sag energy that is positively aspected, as we say, right? It's speaking in harmony with other players in your birth chart, in your unique birth chart, and especially during certain cycles as well. But when we have this, it does suggest an optimistic disposition, okay? And so while that's there, and that is great, at the same time, we might not always be aware of, and sometimes you might not be aware of how there's actually times that, yes, optimism is awesome. You want to believe and you want to work towards that manifestation with all of your energy in your heart and your spirit. And then there are times that say, turn it over. There are times that say, you do not have control in this situation. There are times that say, okay, do what you can and let go of the rest. This is what the big lesson is going to be in the middle of the month, for you to understand, to get a glimpse into where it is that you might have been trying to practice control, where instead a much more effective strategy would have been surrender, would have been turning it over, would have been just allowing people to work their stuff out and knowing that in the bigger picture and in not too much time, it would end up working to your advantage. So staying rooted in what it is that you actually do have control over is one way, and one very effective way, to make your life that much better. To know what you control, focus your energy there, and turn over what you don't. So a part of this lesson is going to come up for you. The awareness is going to come up for you mainly in the dreamscape. But also this part of the chart has a certain secrecy to it, okay? So it might be a conversation. It might be like some sort of strategy that you're thinking about. It might have to do with paperwork. It might have to do with something you're trying to make happen. You've got to be really mindful of this because there's likely to be an invitation of sorts, if you will, okay? The best way I can describe it is fudging the numbers, right? Or maybe just, fudging a little bit of the information. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you're trying to be deceptive. That might not be the intention. But there might be a part of you that wonders if you just lay it all out there, it might leave you too exposed. It might lead you to end up having results that you don't really like. So because of that, there might be a little bit of wondering what you should say, what's effective, and having this little conversation with yourself, if you will, as part of moving forward, as part of figuring out how to get what it is that you want. Now, that is going to be a very personal journey. I will say this, as I said before, pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams will make crystal clear the results of whatever it is that you are contemplating doing. Okay, so if you're one of those people who's thinking about being a little clandestine or leaving some key information out of some key documents, this is going to be your dreams telling you whether or not it's a good idea or not, okay? So if there ever was a time to really pay attention, it would be now, and especially in the middle of the month. As we move towards the end of the month, a lot of the focus is going to change towards partnership, is going to change towards love, and I'll be here to talk about it in the other video, the love-focused horoscope, so we'll save the love stuff for there. But a lot of this energy really in a general focused horoscope can play itself out in any kind of business alliances or partnerships that you form. And also, to some extent, people who represent you. You align with them, they represent you in some way to benefit your life, to return energy to you, to create greater opportunity for you. This is going to be a really interesting moment. This is going to be a moment that helps you to understand what is reasonable to expect from this person and what is not. And this is going to be a time of you thinking, is it worth continuing this partnership or is it not? So there might be a need to be really honest with each other. There might be a need to express things in a way that is mindful of each other's feelings, of course. But a lot of the journey, I really think, this is going to be an evolving thing. Right now, the full moon towards the end of the month is going to trigger some of this, but really we have Saturn in your sign beginning a series of conversations with Neptune. And this is going to be a very defining conversation. It's a major and very rare conversation that will begin now and take us right into the first part of, or speak of much of, the experience that we have of next year as well. So the fact that this is happening means that in some ways you are questioning your own beliefs, your own illusions, your own expectations especially as well. But in this month, it especially has to do with your expectations of what another person can do for you. I would be very, very mindful with this type of full moon happening in your opposite sign. If you were to consider taking on a representative, an agent of any kind, be mindful of what they're promising you. If they're staying grounded, if they're being real with you, it will be evident. But if they are really making some kind of promises or, something isn't feeling too right, you have to acknowledge that for yourself. The other thing though with this also is it's very easy to say that, oh, this is a once in a lifetime chance. But if you're a regular friend and fan, if you've been watching me for a while, I say opportunity is abundant, okay? Sometimes certain opportunities, they don't work out and they have their own reasons for not working out, but that doesn't mean that there won't be more opportunities. That doesn't mean there can't be much better opportunities, but also sometimes there may be some opportunities that show up, but on a soul level, we know that that's not the direction we're meant to go. And so people can sometimes, you might pick up something, you might feel like, oh, I don't think this is right. I don't think this is going to work out. And it isn't really about that. It isn't that the other person is in any way not genuine or whatever. It's that on a soul level, you know what you need. On a soul level, you know which direction you're meant to go. And it might not make sense to a lot of people out there or some people out there, But if it makes sense to you, then that is everything. The main thing is to be mindful of what is taking place within you, the conversation, the inner dialogue that is happening now. Because that, in many ways, will inform you, inform who you are, inform what you understand, and inform the opportunities that you do take, whether now or in the future. It will inform them. It'll be part of a body of experience that you can only build forward from. What I love about this month for you is that, yes, a lot of the energy is behind the scenes, and a lot of the opportunities are very quiet and behind the scenes as well. But that doesn't make them any less potent or any less powerful. As much as there is going on within you, you really are preparing some very sacred ground to have a whole new understanding of self and to prepare for a very bright and bold new beginning coming up ahead.